Hello and welcome to another episode of Fine Arts with Besim. And we're just going to pick up where we left off. We were at this point in the portrait. So I had put this, the undercoat, and left it a bit so it dries and looks like it's almost dry. At this point you can go in and put a lot of the detail in. And I had put the darker areas here so that I can go on top of it with the fine brush to make the hairs. So I will just continue with that for now. And put some of those hairs in. And again, the same way we did with the side areas, the dark areas, I'm going to do with the background. So I'm going to put the background and I'm going to go back and touch the beard a bit so that it overlaps the background a bit. So it doesn't look so sort of cut and paste and blends in, looks more realistic. Okay, so what I will do is I'll continue with the beard. And again, you don't have to go too far down with the detailed hairs, and just kind of leave it a little bit fluffy. Again, you're supposed to keep all the concentration in the eye area. And you know what? Every time I start a portrait, it always ends up sort of taking its own shape or style, because I do have my own style, believe it or not. Everyone does, really. And so don't worry if yours looks a little different. It probably takes a little bit of your own personality and touch in it. And of course, everyone has a different touch. Continue that down on the other side. Actually, when you put the under color down and then you go back and put the white actually mixes with the color under and it becomes an off-white, which is more realistic because actually nothing you see or touch or feel in your everyday world is purely white, unless it's of course an applied color. So your hair is never, or one's hair is never pure white. It's always an off-white. So that's of course a positive. I allow my colors to blend in together. And now I will go back and touch up the people hat. Okay, and I kind of roughed the undercoat, and I left some areas white, and that's where there's that shine. So I'll go back and treat that right now using my white brush, and of course making sure it doesn't have any of that skin tone color to it. So I'll go back and touch it up. Putting that sort of shimmer or shine in just the right spots. And it's very important to sort of lay out your palette in a very organized fashion, where you have the white in the center and then the colors kind of around it, because you do end up using most white. and then you just put a little bit of the colors and mix it all in together. But at the same time, you don't want to muddy the colors in together, so you want to really sort of spread them out and separate them as much as you need to. Again, it doesn't have to be the final touch as of now. You can still go back and touch it some more. Make sure you don't touch any of the colors because they don't come out of your clothes. And I learned that the hard way. It's all part of the fun and experience, of course. Now again, you don't want to put too much detail so that you don't lose any concentration from the focal point. Okay, I'm just putting those lines in the hat. So when you're making this very dark color, you want to use a little bit more brown than blue. Okay. And then the lighter you want to go, the more white you want to use, of course. And just about finishing the hat here. And you want to give the impression of the texture rather than painting everything in. Just an impression of it. That is the papal hat. Of course, if you're not happy with it, you can always go back and touch it up. But at this point, I'm satisfied. And it looks something like that. You can always go back and just give it a little bit more highlight, maybe when it dries. I'll just continue with that, and I'll see you guys next time on Fine Arts with Bessen.